All right. So all we were doing here is identifying what the the TSALT pronoun is. And again, whenever we have tense and then the subject, this is always going to be a pronoun. Okay. But we have two sets of pronouns. We have the ones before the action, and then we have the ones that come after the action. All right. Well, I guess I shouldn't have showed the answers, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's translate these. So if it's we or us, and it's two people and exclusive. So how we what is that translation? Is my microphone on? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, that would be
Oh, okay, yeah, that's ma. So just like mato. So, and I told a story several times, so I bore you again with it. When I said mato, when I started doing this, like I always felt shame from the Samoan speakers, but I was like, you guys aren't teaching us anything. I want to learn, but then when I learned, I get mocked. So I felt like there was a lot of people like me. Actually, I know there's a lot of people like me, like you guys, maybe you guys. So I said, well, we'll just learn it on our own, and we'll not with you guys. We'll figure it out by ourselves. So got a bunch of books, and then got some Samoan speakers. Like I'll speak to people and I consult with them, and it's just for us. There's no shame, no nothing. So we're excluding people. We're excluding the people that want to hate and they want to mock. So that's ma. Okay. So whenever it's exclusive, so we have the we or us, two, right, exclusive, and then we have the we or us, three or more, okay, exclusive. So that's another word. But when we're talking about the TSALT pronoun, the one that we say before the action is just I forgot who said that. I think Gil, but it's ma. Okay, so great. So how do we say I? What's the if we're gonna put that right there? How do we say I?
it would be oh.
Oh, yep, it's O. Yep, Nishan, yep, and Gil, yep. O. So that's just OU. Okay. And then don't worry if you don't, get them offhand, don't, but it's really good to just what I would do when I was first starting out. Um, I just was repetition. It's just old school. That's how we learned when I was in grade school. I still got corn, big corn from when I was growing up. We had to write like whatever word it was 100 times. So I implemented that again when I started learning Samoan. And I would just write every single day. What are my pronouns? Okay, my TSAL pronouns are oh ma, and then the rest, all of them. The ones that come after the action, right? They're au, oi, ia, or ia, ilato, tato, so that's what I did. And so I got my corn, it was coming back. It hasn't even went away from a few years ago. But repetition, I mean, that helps me. It is, not necessarily for everybody, but I'm old, so I just did some old school stuff. But anyway, them or they, three or more people.
Is that Lato?
Lato, yep, Lato. Yep, Lato. And if you say K style, it's gonna be Laco. All right. You too. So if I say yep, you too.
Lua,
Oh, say again.
Lua.
Lua, yep, Lua. Just like the number. And we're gonna get to numbers today. So we're gonna be doing that. So Lua, that's what will go right there. Three or more people inclusive. So that's a little different from exclusive. So how do we say that?
Is that Oto?
So Oto is gonna be like y'all, like you. Yeah. You said say it again.
Oh, it's
Tato.
inclusive?
Yeah, I think I heard somebody say tato. So tato is when nobody is excluded from this conversation. So we're like when you hear like the preacher say, you know, tato tatalo, like let's all pray. Everybody in the thing, you know, if you got your head up, you know, you're gonna get a slap from mom. So everybody has to, you know, tato tatalo, tato. Everybody is included. But when we say mato is people are being excluded from the action, whatever the action is. We're doing it, not you. Okay, tato and ta. Oh, well, I shouldn't have said that. Well, ta is gonna be included. Everybody is included. Ma or mato, there's some exclusion there. So this is gonna be tato. All right, her or her, him or it. What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, just yeah. That's it. Her, him, or it. So after the a lot of people get confused by this because there's ia, there's na, and na is usually used with the te. And we're going to talk about te after, right on the next slide. So for now, just ia, and after the pronoun, I'm sorry, after the action would be like oia, oia. Okay, but before the pronoun, our TSALT pronoun for her, him, or it is going to be ia. All right, what about you three? Like y'all, like all y'all go over there, or you know, how are you all doing? You know, say again.
Oto.
Oto, yep, oto or oko, wamayoko, yep, wamayoto. Like how you y'all, all of you guys. All right, we are us, inclusive. Nobody is excluded.
Ta.
Ta, yeah, just kind of like ta or ka, like kind of like the first one, but this is inclusive. So you'll hear this in a lot of love songs, Samoan love songs, because it's like, you know, a guy crying out to a girl, or he, you know, he's talking to her, or you know, I think there's one song that I know where a woman is talking to God, you know, so nobody is excluded. There's only two people in the conversation. So ta, nobody is excluded. Ma is usually going to be there's more than two people, but two people are doing the action, but one person is excluded. Okay, somebody is excluded from the action. Again, we don't do this in English, so that's why it's kind of confusing to in the beginning. But after, you know, after a while of practicing it, it's actually it makes sense that we do it this way. You, just a singular you. Anybody you know? So right. So it would be right here. So it's just all right. The and it's kind of abbreviated because after the action we would say oi. We say oi. Oops. Oi. Oi. Okay, but before the action is gonna be Great. Them or they too.
La.
La, yeah, thank you. So it's them or they, the two of them, la. All right, and then the last one is gonna be we or us inclusive. I'm sorry, exclusive, exclusive.
Mato. Oh,
Say again.
Mato.
You said mato. Okay, yep. So mato. So that is it's three or more people exclusive. So that's and like I said, that's what I originally named, you know, the program is Mato, like it's us, you know, not them, you know, the ones who want to make fun and do all that. It's just us. We, you know, this is what we're doing. Mato, Mato, por kalame, our, you know, our program, our program. So any questions on these? So these are very important to, because this is how we would form our these kind of sentences right here with the tense, and then the subject would be one of these, and then our action comes after that, and then where we did the action, and then when we did the action. On a po, ilikayao, and so forth. So we're gonna do a bunch of examples after everyone kind of gets these examples down. This right here we'll do together, so we can save a little bit of time. So let's reword the following statements correctly. All right. So o fia fa'i ma wahoo. O fia fa'i ma wahoo. So this is worded, I mean, technically it could probably be, but it's incorrect. But we do have our tense. We have our subject. Oh, go ahead.
I want banana and wahoo.
Yep, that's exactly what it says. Banana and wahoo. So we have a tense, and then we have our subject, we have our action, and this is what I want. Fia, and then fa'i and wahoo. So both of these, actually, I want both of these, but it's worded incorrectly. How would we word this in everyday Samoan? It's a habitual tense. It's the only tense marker that does this. The only tense marker that does this. Because if we were to say sa o fia fa'i ma wahoo, like I was liking fa'i ma and wahoo, but this right here is I like fa'i and wahoo. So we wouldn't say though like e o fia fa'i ma wahoo. We would say it a different kind of way, and it's the only tense marker that does this.
Oh, would that
Very-
be ote?
Ote, exactly. And this is very important because people speak like this all the time. You're gonna hear it every single day. So whenever you see o, and then whatever else, a pronoun coming right after a, it flips to a te. So you just take the o and just flip it around. And so instead of o, it's gonna be ote, fia, and then the rest of it is the same. Fa'ima wahoo. Wahoo. So ote fia fa'ima wahoo. Like I like fa'i. I like banana, green bananas and wahoo. It actually is pretty fire. So ote fia fa'ima wahoo. Okay.
Just a quick question. Well,
Uh-huh.
so if you have the whenever you have the ed tense marker and the subject comes right after the tense marker before the action, only for the ed tense mark you'd actually use the te in its
Yeah.
place.
Yep.
With the subject coming before the action, and if it's a present tense type of thing.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Whenever it's and then the subject comes after, exactly like how you said, and then the subject after that just is gonna be just take that pronoun and then say te. So it's like just like this. O, no, not a o. O te. So how would we say this one? Ela talo. Il fale sa maletato fale. How would we say this one?
Then that would be lato te.
Yep.
Tatalo.
Lato te tatalo. And then the rest of it is fale sa male tato fale. Anybody knows what this says by chance?
They pray at the church and our house.
Yep, they pray at the church and our house. Maletato fale. Maletato fale. So they pray at the church and le tatofale, our house. So it's almost just like the way we speak in English. So this way might be like easier to understand. But I I don't know. So they, because it's like word for word English. La tote, like, so they pray in the church house, and in our house. Okay, so la tote te talo ile fale sa malitato fale. All right, how about this one? How would we word this? How would we reword this one? Sa ia faitawina letusi.
I don't think you do.
Yep. Thank you. So that was a trick question. I hate doing that, but but the main thing that I want to say is the only one that does the te is gonna be the e. That's it. The rest of them, if you see, sa, so that that's a past tense. We know that's a past tense. So okay, that's a tense past. We have our subject is ia. Okay, that's fine. Faitawina is gonna be our action, and then letusi. Okay, that's it. We don't have to do anything to that. But these up here, because they're a, that's the only reason why I threw this in here, is just to emphasize the point that the only one that gets changed to the te is a. That's the only one. The e, just like Gil said, I think that was Gil said that. It's whenever you have the tense, and then you have a subject after that, and it's the e, the habitual tense marker, e, it turns into te every single time. Okay. So instead of AO, no, not a AO, it's OTE. Instead of e lato, no, not a e lato, it's gonna be lato te. But if you see sa, you see na or lo'o, or le a, what's the ua, any other ones, they're fine. You don't do anything to those. But the e, we have to change it. So how will we change number? Oh, what do we do to number 4? How do we say this one?
Just make it luate.
Yep, luate. That's it. So all we're doing is we're just, when you see the e and then a pronoun after that, it's just flip it. Lua, lua, te. And then luateo, ile fale si'i, iasouma. Does anyone know by, oh, let's go back to number 3. What does number 3 say? Anybody know that one? Sa ia faitawina letusi. Sa ia faitawina letusi.
Like I read the book, or I read the book.
Yep, I read the book, or I was reading the book, either one. So and I know we don't cover much vocabulary in here because we're spending more time trying to figure out how to put the words together. But yeah, that's exactly it. So Saya Faitawina Letusi is I read the book, or I was reading the book. All right. And then so we
Sorry,
said,
is that not she was reading the book?
oh
Or
yeah,
he?
yeah, you're right. Thank you for catching
Okay,
that.
sorry.
She, he, or it was reading the book. That's what, not I was reading the book. So sa ia, not sa o. Sa o is what I was thinking in my head because I was looking at this up here. Sa ia, he or she was reading the book. Sa ia faitawina letusi. Thank you for catching that. And then the last one, like you guys said, is luateo ile fale si'i iasouma. How do we say, I mean, not how do we say, what was I talking about? What does this mean? What does that translate to in English?
Like you to go to the gym all the time or every day.
Yep. Yep. So like you, or you guys, y'all go o luateo, and then to ile fale si'i iasouma. So we haven't talked about uma. When you put uma after, you know, like nouns. I think even some like verbs. It means like every, and then whatever the word is. Like this aso. Aso is day. So asouma. Asouma. Okay, so that's very important to put in your notes whenever you put that uma after a word as like an adjective. So it's describing. So aso is day, but then if we say aso uma, then we're saying we're describing day as every day, like all the days, like every single day. So luateo ile falisi aso uma. So y'all go to the gym every day, every day. Okay. So
Is what?
so it's like CE is like to lift, and then fale is house. So it's like the house of lifting. Some people you might hear fale ka'alo, or fale ta'alo, like the playhouse. What's the other those are the main ones that I hear, fale CE and fale ta'alo. For the most part, like guys, when they're going to lift weights and stuff, they probably would say that. So I guess that's why I put that there. What's the other word? Fa'amalositino. Yeah, exactly. It's to exercise. Fa'amalositino. Let me copy
Okay.
this. Yeah. So there's several kind of words for it, but I try to make it these kind of things like house of lifting. So oh, someone said something here. Fale. Fale malositino. Okay, that's good. Okay, so and do you guys remember this one right here? This is an important one. Actually, tomorrow I'm gonna post this just in case you guys forgot, but I'm gonna try to make it more simple because I was doing like people were saying they were too complicated. So I'm gonna post something kind of simple. Remember, do you have? So we did a worksheet on that. So how do we say do you have a bingo? And my grandma and everybody says this kind of stuff all the time. So
Hey, I saw bingo.
you're right. Hey, I saw bingo. So the main thing to remember is ei, and then sao is what? What does sao mean? Just if we were to isolate it by itself. Oh, say again, Alpha.
Is it have?
No, or have is gonna be ei.
Yeah.
So ei is to have, okay, and then is like presently have. So ei is presently have, and then just sao. What does sao mean?
Come.
Come.
Well, it means it means that, but it's different in this context. So whenever I'm not sure if you were here Tuesday, but we had a worksheet. So sao is like lao in this when it's in this position, okay? As an action, yes, sao means to come, come over here or whatever. Sao mai. But if it comes after, we already have an action. So we have our tense is present, and we have ei, which is to have or to possess. So when we have sao in this position, so we have tense action. Now it's like a subject. It's part of a subject. So sao is gonna mean what?
Wouldn't that be like the you?
Right. It's you or your. And like Timothy said, it's gonna be a unspecific. Exactly. So but more even specifically than that, sao is gonna be your. It equals, it's your not specific. Like, do you have a bingo? So have your bingo. Have your bingo. So ella está bingo. So do you have a bingo? So the main thing to remember is like have, and then you could say sao. If you and the lesson that I'm gonna post on Instagram, I'm gonna try to keep those a lot more simpler than I've been doing because I was making them for you guys, but then a lot of people were asking questions about them. If we say sao, sao is the same thing as lao. All right, both of those mean your, but lao is gonna be like your specific. Okay, do you have your bingo? But if I'm just saying like, do you have your bingo? And I'm just saying like, it's almost like, do you have a bingo? But I'm saying a bingo of yours. And again, I know we don't do this in English, so it throws people off. So your bingo. Do you have a bingo? If if we translate it. AI self bingo. AI self bingo. Okay. So, but another way to say it, if we want to even simplify it even more than that, we could just say AI set bingo. Do you have a bingo? Do you have a bingo? Okay. So that means that what you see on the screen, or if we say AI, oops, AI sa bingo. This means, do you have your bingo? They both mean the same thing. I mean, people are asking them the same, and in context, they mean the same thing. But this is like, I'm being really specific. I want to know, do you have a bingo? And this one right here is, have a bingo. Do you have a bingo? I mean, they mean the same thing, but hopefully you guys know like the slight difference in it. This say is equal to just a, like do you have? I'm sorry, have a bingo. So that's what this would be if we're just doing word for word. Have a bingo. But down here, when we say sao, again, sao is just like lao, but lao is specific. You have, this is the bingo we were talking about, the very specific bingo. But more than likely, people are gonna say like this: "Hey, I saw bingo. Do you have your bingo? Your bingo." So we have our tense. We have our action is ei, or to have. Then we have sao, which is gonna be, in this case, is gonna be your bingo. All of this is our subject together. Hey, I saw bingo. So before we get off,
Question.
sure.
Are you talking about bingo cards or bingo game?
Bingo game, like, well, I guess it could be either one, but like every time, like, they would drag me to the bingo, like they would ask me, because I always won. Every time I went, I won. So they'd be like, "Hey, I saw bingo." They ask me that every single time, and I'll be like, yeah, I won. I got a bingo." So, but this is the way they would ask. They would either say, "Hey, I saw bingo." Well, my grandma, because she couldn't speak English, she would either say this, or she would say, "AI sit bingo." Do you have a bingo, or AI South bingo? So I don't know if I answered your question or not, but they were just asking me if I won. Did I
Okay,
win?
okay, okay.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
You're
did you
already,
bingo?
you already played the game. Okay.
Yeah, we were playing, and then because they would have like 20 cards in front of them, and they'd be like, do like that, and I got one card. I still won. I would win every time. I don't know why, but then they would always say, "Hey, I saw bingo," and they were asking me really like, "Did you win?" And but they, do you have a bingo? So that's what. And then how do we translate this? Yes, I have a bingo. So this is what I would say. I would just say yeah, because I didn't know how to speak Samoan, but I knew what they were asking me. So yes, I have a bingo. So you remember that worksheet? How do we reply when someone says, "Hey, I saw bingo," or "Hey, I said bingo"?
Yoi. Hey, I saw.
Yoi. Yep. Ioi. Ioi. Iai. Sa'u. Bingo. And then it's Sa'u. Remember, Sa'u is just like La'u. La'u is my specific bingo. This is the bingo we've been talking about. But usually people are gonna say, "Yeah, I got a bingo, it's right here. I have a bingo of mine. I have a bingo of mine." Okay. La'u is mine, my or mine. But if usually in replies, people say, "Yeah, I saw a bingo." Like I have a bingo of mine. Okay. I'll pull up the worksheet just in case anyone here missed it and they're kind of lost. Because I know, like, Sao, when you see Sao, that because I thought that too, like years ago, that like have, come, bingo, what, so you get thrown off, or you hear people talking and then they'll say sao. That was one of the only words that I knew. And I would think that would mean, to come here, like get over here. But that's in this context, the way that it's used here, that's not what sao means, you know. But we'll go over that part. Or if you're lost on that, just hang around and we'll talk about it. We'll even do the worksheet if you guys want to. Okay.
Is
Can
that
you
like
stay there
saying-
also?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying like, when you have Saul, would that be more like, yes, right? I have a bingo?
Yeah, so usually when you see sao, sau, sana, sona, all those kind of words that start with an S. Man, I wish I had those kind of words that start with an S, they're the same as the ones that start with the L. But like usually when we're asking questions, or you're answering a question, instead of saying lau, you would say sa'u. Instead of saying lona, you say sona. So those are a lot with questions. And I think we do, let me look over here, because this might keep us from confusing ourselves. Yeah, so we do get to questions probably, well, more than likely we probably won't get to it till Sunday and Tuesday, but they are on this week's slide. So, but yeah, when you're asking questions and you're unsure, anytime people are unsure about something, instead of lau, like using the L, we would say sa'u. Instead of lana, we say sana. Instead of lo, we say so, or in all of that. We just exchange the L for the S, if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, don't worry about it right now. We're gonna get to it. We got a whole lesson on it, and really it's kind of like putting that new lesson together with the something that we already talked about, and it might just make more sense, hopefully. Okay. So,
Okay.
all right. All right, so let's go to, again, this is just if you didn't already have it. So, the pronouns before the action, the ones before. Okay. I guess if you want to screenshot it, and I'll also upload it, these. I think they're already on, actually they are already on the site, but o, I, you, e, him, her, or it is ia. Okay. Na is gonna be when we're talking about te. Don't worry about this right now. Don't worry about the na. Ma and ta is us two, but ma is the exclusive. We talked about this. And then the ta is the inclusive. You two is lua. Okay. La is them two. Ma to or ma ko is gonna be we or us, 3 or more people. So we or ma ko is, however many people are in here right now. So, but it's more than 3. It's 3 or more. So we would be considered ma to or ma ko. Okay, and then them, if it's 3, them 3 or more. So people who are talking about us, they would refer to us as la to or la ko. All right. So, and then these would be after the action. This is what we learned for the first, 3 or 4 weeks after the action. All right, and then when it comes to te, so all we did with the te is this: we just combined the ones that come before the action. O te, e te. When we get to ia, him, her, or it, instead of saying ia, most people say na. I do hear people say ia te, but more than likely I hear people say na te. I learned ia te, but I more than likely people say na te, na te. Mate, tate, luate, late, matote, latote. So that's what these are. Okay. Ote, ete, nate, mate, tate, luate, late. Matote, tatote, tote, and latote. All right. So, and these are only with present tense the habitual that's always going to turn to, well, more than likely it's always going to turn to a te. Okay. So so far we covered this, and I know like it might seem difficult right now, but anytime you're thinking about something, and this would help me. Try to think about it in Samoan words. And this will help build your vocabulary as well, because if you get stuck on a word, just write the word down and put it where it's supposed to go. If you're, stuck on a subject, then look the subject up. Even in Google will find the stuff for you, but Google's not really that good on putting the sentence structures together. So take one sentence and write it in this format: tense, action, and then the subject, location, and time. Remember, the subject, when it comes after the action, could be a common noun or it can be a pronoun. Either way, okay? But what we learned last week and this week and today is whenever we have this subject before the action, always going to be a pronoun, okay? So, rewrite the same sentence, but do it that way. Use a pronoun for it. All right. And then we also talked about, we put our subject like o, te, e, te, na, te, lua, te. So make some sentences like that and just do them every single day. When you get up, you write it. Not only write it, say it out loud. If there's somebody that you feel comfortable with speaking Samoan to, practicing your Samoan, write it down and read it out to them. And then maybe they'll speak back to you as well. So it's just a good comprehensive way to practice. So here's one example. So if I say sa ialu ilepotu anapo, sa ialu ilepotu anapo. So let's just mark all of these. We have our tense. We have ia is our subject. Alu is our action. And then, when we have our location, it's going to either start with E, Ya, Te, Mai, Mo. There's, a lot of prepositions. We talked about those as well. The prepositions. So all of this is our location. I le potu. And then our time is anapo. Sa ialu le potu anapo. Anyone knows what does anybody knows how to say it? What does that say in English? Can we translate that?
Like she went to the room last night.
Oh, okay. Say the first part again.
It's like Saia is like he or she
Oh yeah.
went. All of me, I guess, go or went.
Mm-hmm.
He left both his room.
Mm-hmm.
On a pause last night.
Yes, exactly. So he, she, or it went. So sa'alu, past tense go or was going to the room, ilepotu, and then anapo. Or sa'yalu ilepotu anapo. She went to the room last night. He went to the room last night. It went to the room last night, or it was going. So, because if we want to be technical, the sa is was going. Okay, so this right here is the same sentence, except now instead of emphasizing our action, because the one that comes after is what we're emphasizing. So sa ialu ilepotu anapo. So in regular conversation, we're just gonna say what the action is. Like, yeah, she was going to the room last night. But now we want to emphasize the subject, so we're saying it afterwards. Hopefully I'm not losing anybody here. So we still have our tense, but instead of our subject like we have here, we have our action, and we're trying to stress if she was, she was going to the room last night. So we're really trying to emphasize that oia, like went to the room, like it was she that went to the room last night. Or it was he that went to the room. Like it was, it went to the room last night. All right. So, and then the rest of it is the same. Ilepotu anapo. All right. If you have any questions on that, just let me know. Again, up here, we're emphasizing the action. So it comes last in terms of our tense, subject, and our action. So we emphasize our action. This one, we're emphasizing the subject, like who's doing it. So this one isn't as common, because most of the time people are just going to say what happened. And when we're talking about what happened, we're talking about the action. But if I'm emphasizing who did it, then you're probably going to say it this way. All right. Except for if we're talking about a common noun. Common nouns are always going to come right there. So if I said sa alu viliamu ile potu anapo, I'm always going to say viliamu right there. I wouldn't say sa viliamu alu. That doesn't sound right. It wouldn't make sense. All right. So pronouns can go before, pronouns can go after. This pronoun right here is just the regular speech. We're just saying what happened. Okay. And we're emphasizing alu, or the action. Right here, we are emphasizing the person because we're saying it last. All right. Na te alu ile potu. What does this one say?
You went to the room.
So that would be past tense. If I say na te, what's that mean?
And that can also be like he, she, it, present tense with the te.
Right. Yeah, it's the present tense, exactly. And it could be he, she, or it. So how would we translate this in to English?
He, she went to the room.
He, if it's present tense, how would we express alu?
Yes.
Goes.
Goes. Yeah,
Okay.
goes. Yeah, goes to the room. He goes to the room. So this is what he does, or she does, or it does. He goes to the room. So so how come we drop on a pole? There's like
Because
I could
Present.
he's presently doing it.
right. He presently do it. So on a pole, our time is last night. I can't say he goes to the room last night. That wouldn't this wouldn't make sense. He goes to the room last night. So whenever we're talking about na te, ete, ote, latote, it has to be a present tense. So we have to be mindful of our, what our time is going to be when we say te. Te is going to be, this is what they presently do. So hopefully you guys, I don't know, I use that example to try to illustrate that, if it's present tense, you have to make sure that your time agrees with your, with your tense marker. The tense marker and the time has to agree. Like, for example, I wouldn't say ole a ialu ile potu anapo. So that's ole a is our future tense marker, but then we have a past time, right? So that's like I don't know if it's an oxymoron, but they conflict. There's a confliction. So he will go to the room last night. Doesn't make sense. So remember, the tense marker has to agree with the time of what you're talking about. All right.
Question,
Sure.
in that third sentence, where is the pronoun?
The pronoun is right here. Nah. So remember,
It's not a tense?
no, not in this one. The tense is going to be te. The tense is te. So
Okay.
yeah, and that's a great question because it throws people off. So up here, na te. So it's only with the air tense marker. So with the air, and you turn it into,
Okay,
yeah. So instead of ia, like some people might say iate, instead of iate, it's gonna be nate.
okay.
This is that was the most confusing one. So I'm so glad you asked that or
Thank
said
you.
something about that. You're welcome. So, and if we just go back up here, ia, na, and the na only applies to the te. Okay. So we have a few minutes left. Let's go to telling time. And before we can tell time, we have to count. So you guys might already be familiar with it. I knew how to count before I could knew anything else about someone because I knew songs and stuff like that. So we'll just go through these. If you guys have any questions, you can just stop me. But I'm just gonna read through these. Tasi, Lua, Tolu, Pa, Lima, Ongo or Ono, Fitu, Balu, Iva, Sefulu, Kasi, Lua, Kolu, Fa, Lima, Ongo, Fiku, Balu, Iva, Sefulu. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. You just have to know the definition. All right. So when we go to once we get to like 11, it's kind of like 10 and a 1. This is really straightforward. So it's just Sefulu. So that's our 10. And then Tasi. So you might hear people just omit the male because that ma is and then le is the. Okay. 10 and the 1. That means 11. Sefulu male tasi. Or you might just hear Sefulu kasi or Sefulu tasi. Either ones, people might drop it. And then everything else is the same. Sefulu lua or Sefulu male lua, Sefulu male tolu, Sefulu male fa, Sefulu lima, Sefulu ongo, Sefulu fiku, Sefulu valu, Sefulu iva. And then when we get to 20, we put the number in the front. So we have a 2 and 10, 2 10s. Okay, lua Sefulu. Okay, lua Sefulu. And then when we get to everything else is the same again. Lua Sefulu Maletasi or Lusfulutasi or Lusfulukasi if you want to say the case style. All of that is the same, just like all of that before. And it repeats that same pattern when you get to 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Tolu Sefulu Maletasi. Okay, yeah, I don't have that one right there, but they all do the same thing. Oh, these are I didn't change these. These are supposed so fa Sefulu Maletasi. Let me just mark this so you guys know on the recording. It's supposed to be fa Sefulu Maletasi. Lima Sefulu Malelua. Wow, geez, this whole thing is messed up. Okay, so fa Sefulu. That's what this is. Let me rewrite this for this recording. Fa Sefulu. Okay, that's 40. 50. You guys can blur them out if you know them. What's 50? It's 5 and a 10.
Lima
Sefulu.
Sefulu.
Yep. Lima Sefulu. You can keep going if you want.
Ono Sefulu.
Ono Sefulu. Yep. And what if we wanted to say 61 or 63? Let's do 63.
Ono Sefulu Tolu.
Tolu. Yep. Or yep. Or Ongo Sefulu Kolu. Or Ongo Sefulu Malakolu. 70.
Itu Sefulu.
Yep. Fitu Sefulu. Fitu Sefulu. Fitu Sefulu. 80.
Valu Sefulu.
Valu Sefulu. 90.
Iva Sefulu.
Eva Sefulu. Yep. And then when we get to 100, it's Selau. And it's the same. We just keep building on top of, it just gets longer and longer. For the most part, I hear Samoans even just say it in English because it's much shorter than, Selau Sefulu Malitasi. Selau, because it just gets longer and longer. For example, Selau Malitasi. So this is 100 and then a 1 and a 1. For something like this, if we were to say 600, so we have the 600th place, so we say the whole thing out. Ongo Selau, okay, and then 30, because we have the 30 place, Tolu Sefulu, and then we have the 2, Malelua. Ongo Selau, Kolu Sefulu, Malelua. So 632. And then we get to 1,000, it's the same thing. It just keeps building and building and building. 1,000 is Afit, okay? But in terms of time, of course, we can't tell time unless we know how to count. And I will be online Sunday if you guys want to. 1 o'clock my time is 11 a.m. California time. We'll just go over these definitions and then we'll stop. Ta or ka is to strike. Okay. Ua, this would actually have a selfie right there. Ua is our tense marker. So time always changes. So if I ask you what time it is, somebody might say, Ua kalifia. You know, what time is it? Ua kasifia. You might hear ka lefia, you might hear ka sefia. Either one, but we'll get to that. Fia is how many. Okay, in this context, I know you probably know like fia, like, you know, to once, but in this case, we're talking about fia, like how many. Toe, toe. It talks about amount before whatever we're talking about. Or toi lima minute, like 5 minutes before whatever it is. Te'a. Te'a talks about time after. And we'll get to that. So toi and te'a. Okay. Taimi is time. You know, if somebody say oleale taimi, what's the time? What time is it? There's another way to say that as well. Itula is hour. Afa is half. Afa is half. A lot of people know that, like for like afkasi, you know, half of one. Okay. Kuata is quarter. Kind of sounds like English. Minute, almost the same. Minutes. Seconde, I guess that's English too. And then koikiki. Or I'm sorry, koikiki ka or toititi ta, almost strike. It's about to be, you know, koikiki ka le kasi is about to be one. It's about to strike the one. Okay. Was there, I think I heard someone was gonna say something. No. Okay. And these are just, I'll just say this and then we'll stop right here. So if someone says like ukalifia, and I think you guys probably heard this just in passing, you know, growing up. What time is it? Ukalifia. And then ua is like or this is actually the sentence structure for it. So we have ua, we have ta or to strike, and then we have the hour, and then le itula. So ua ta le lima. So that's like would be our response. It has struck the 5. Ua ta le lima. Ua ta le lima. Ua afa. It is half the 5. It's 5:30, you know. Ua kokiki ka ua toititi ta le lima. It's almost gonna strike the 5. It's about to be 5. Okay. I guess I'll stop right here because I'm rushing through the time. We're gonna go through time fresh from the start on Tuesday. If you have any questions, just hang around. If not, I'll see you guys on Tuesday, or if you want to, just show up on Sunday at 11 a.m. California time.
Thank you.
Paftai lava,
Thank you.
paftai foi. Pa
Thanks.
passer for. Thanks, paftai lava. See you next week. I should stop this.